of the Bible Beater Podcast. This is the Lord of Hosts, Caleb Campbell, joined as always by the interrupter, Kyle Vester. How's it going anyways, Kyle?
Welcome, my children.
I like your new outfit.
It's dope. We look fucking like
You look
rock
disheveled
stars,
and wrinkly like an old ball bag. Like an old ball bag you want to drop on the forehead of a 4-year-old boy.
I've been Botoxing my balls, dude. They're smooth as eggs.
Smooth as egg. Do you suck these balls?
Yeah, dude. Our new thing is just bastardizing other religious sacred garments.
Look, as a purist podcast listener, a guy that's not a retard, a guy that doesn't waste his visual energy on looking at stuff. I only listen to podcasts. So for the people that are smart that are only listening, we're wearing priest robes,
which is honestly most people. And for you people, go to Canada Comedy Network and
Kyle,
subscribe
don't
to
yell at
the
them.
fucking YouTube channel.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
No one fucking Googles Canada Comedy Network.
I know, it's a stupid name.
Also, we're some of the dumbest marketers of all time. My name,
pretty dumb.
If you try to find out who does our podcast with Google, it's near impossible.
Really?
Yeah, me and you are very hard to find. People
That's
are No, it isn't.
That's great.
That's terrible. I actually wanted this podcast to be a fucking commercial for my comedy, and now it's Canada Comedy.
You should try saying something funny.
I mean, don't put me on the spot
right now.
You say something funny, asshole.
I just did. See what else? This whole interaction.
Okay.
I forced you.
I'm not going to take debate. I'm trying a new thing. I'm Zen. So yeah, we're wearing priest robes. Where'd you get these robes, Kyle?
I look like a fucking.
You look like a child molester.
Just a born again virgin. Like I just got dunked in some holy water. Does that make you wear shit like this?
Well,
when you get like dunked, you get
no,
re-virginized?
the guy dunking you wears shit like this.
Okay.
But I want to point out, where'd you get this outfit?
From the Choiners.
But like, what website? Like, is this official or is this a costume?
I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? It's obviously a costume.
I know it's obviously a costume.
Are we?
My point was,
it's official. It's official as soon as we put it on.
Exactly.
It's now official. Bible Beaters.
This is my point.
Podcast.
This is my point. Even fucking official priest robes, I got finger quotations everywhere.
Yeah.
Are made by kids in sweatshops in Taiwan, right, or Singapore, or Indonesia.
They like the smell of children on their robes.
There you go. That's something funny.
It's an advertisement for my comedy.
But also, that's what I said.
I know. Yeah. Go on.
The funny part is that people wear this exact shit and they get in front of people at church, and so
you want yours to smell more like children?
No. What I'm saying is,
mine doesn't really smell
this
like
makes
kids.
it official to people who go to church.
If yours smells like kids, it might be you. Sorry, Chad's calling.
Can you stop?
I'm totally kidding. If it was, though, I was going to pretend like it was on purpose.
What I'm trying to do is make fun of the pomp and circumstance of people wearing robes. Like when you go to a Catholic church in a giant building with huge arches that many people died building 700 years ago, and then you're like, that guy's wearing the God outfit. It's made by children in Indonesia. That's just some guy wearing a dumb fucking shirt.
Is that true?
What do you mean?
I assume they were like handmade by people
even if they
within
are
the congregation.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a propaganda mind control. The same way like the Soviet Union had like outfits and pins and medals to make that guy seem official. It's a fucking disguisement. Disguisement?
I don't even know what you're trying to say.
Who puts ment on the end of disguise? It's a disguise for hiding the fact you actually don't have any answers. Disguise.
That's great. You're peacocking. Yeah. That's dope. I think mine actually said it was official in the description. Is like officially dyed white with children's cum.
That's awesome.
So I have like the
How do you make children cum?
Well, step one.
You have to go in the back.
You make them an altar boy. I guess children can't come, eh?
No.
Fundamentally. Biologically speaking, emotionally they're coming all over my clothes. Though.
Oh my! I mean,
they're emotionally coming.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a Sam Harris podcast about child porn, and there's a.
Oh yeah.
There's a.
You watching it late at night before you went to bed?
I was just listening to it.
Okay, that's good because you don't watch those podcasts.
When children come, it sounds like women coming, so it's the same. You know, their voices are indistinguishable. I'm only listening to it, Kyle. I'm not watching it. No, but That's disgusting.
It's gross, dude.
But
It's not. That's not religious talk.
So
we are now official authority figures.
it's
Can't be
important
speaking like
to talk about fucking children when wearing these clothes. They're actually made to disguise the boners you get
yeah.
as you fucking fondle altar
I'm
boys.
popping hard 10 right now. No one could tell. Your Honor, we were in character the whole time. Look at what we're wearing.
Even judges' robes are horse shit.
Yeah. Well, in fucking England, they still wear the wigs.
Yeah, like could you
Like horsehair wigs.
imagine being like, oh, I should respect this guy with his horse perm.
This guy's putting me in jail, and he's doing it in cosplay. There's a guy that did the same thing 1,000 years ago.
I mean, the worst part about it is that it works. That's the worst part about it.
I don't know what works about it.
The average person goes, that's a judge in uniform. And they go,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But I feel like those other uniforms, like a cop's uniform, they're like authoritative.
well, a
They're like
cop's
a suit. You know how a
a
suit
fireman, cop,
you know how a
paramedic.
suit is angled to make you more masculine?
Yeah.
That's like the biological nature of a suit.
Also, that's
With the shoulders make you look more
yeah,
muscular
they put
and all that shit.
pads in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing with like a cop's uniform.
Well,
I don't know what this is.
I-
Like this doesn't make me feel more masculine.
no.
I'll tell you right now.
This is some gay. This is some gay child like
Yeah.
toddler diddling.
This is
outfit.
like reminding
This
me
is
of
what toddler diddlers wear. We're dressed like pedophiles.
fundamentally speaking, that's true. This is reminding me of the Cat Williams bit that we just watched yesterday, where it's like Today, yeah.
Today is yesterday for me.
That's true.
I've been drunk for like 24 hours, so it's still St. Patrick's Day.
The Cat Williams bit is like, I like bitches. So when you come over to my house, I got shit bitches like.
Yeah.
I don't drink Alizé, but bitches do.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, what does he have at his house? Amusement park, lollipop machine? That's what I feel like. This isn't for bitches. This is for
It's man, you could hide a 4-year-old under this.
right under it.
You could probably get blown without anybody noticing.
I thought that's what the altar was for. It's like child height.
It literally is.
Just get some fucking. I thought that was like the hallelujah moment. Every time they like really amped up the speech to the point of like ecstasy.
You're coming?
You're busting that in a child's mouth.
Okay, so I think we made enough fun of the Catholics.
Yeah.
I'm
I
having
mean, we really just called ourselves pedophiles for 10 minutes, which is
Google.
which is straight up comedy.
If
That's
you're
comedy.
if you're listening,
Yeah.
please don't put me on some sort of list. I'm having a great day. I'm in a tremendous mood. I had an interesting walk here. So I'm walking here. I put on Mark Maron's podcast with Serge, the brand new one. I think it's from today.
I didn't know that was really still going on.
That he is the best interviewer that there is, as far as I'm concerned.
I think he interviews himself during other people's interviews.
No,
He just starts talking about
yes,
himself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, with comics, but now he hardly interviews comics, which is why I don't listen to it as much.
Oh, okay.
But he interviewed Serge from System of a Down, Serge Tankian, the lead singer.
Are they Armenian?
Yes, and
Okay.
it was all about
That
like,
shit is wild.
dude, I can't recommend it enough. Really good, and they both like the mutual respect you can hear between. They met at that time. And
That's cool.
They're both going, you know, what you did with this is like so awesome, and then Serge is saying like, dude, you're like one of the great speak of truth to power Anyways, I know.
Well, System of a Down, I saw them on. They're like the only Armenian band
Where'd you
that's
see 'em?
famous on YouTube's.
I
never saw him in real life.
I've seen him.
I just seen him in really.
Yeah, at Ozfest, and the lead guitarist was rolling on the ground, eye rolling, like it was crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah, they fucking kicked ass.
Yeah. The last band I saw broke up because the lead singer fucked a 17-year-old.
So we're wearing his outfit.
We're wearing his outfit, dude, in honor. I don't even know his name.
So yeah, I'm walking here, I'm listening to that podcast, and all of a sudden, a nice car, BMW, fucking turns around and pulls over right
Full
next
of
to me.
babes.
Turns around, pulls over right next to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's this asshole? And it's a hot chick from high school. And she's like, Kayla, blah, blah, blah.
Get out of here. I wish you were dressed like this at the time.
Nah, yeah. Anyways, I mean, I know this girl. Like, we're friends. She's actually, like, kind of like my first crush. I never dated her or anything.
Friend zoned.
Yeah, well, my mom fucked me up with girls, so I didn't pursue girls till basically the very end of high
How
school.
did she fuck you up?
She, because purity culture, masturbation's bad. If you look at a woman and have lustful thoughts, all that shit.
Right.
All that shit.
That is fucked up.
It's super fucked up. She got me.
Making horny a crime is the weirdest fucking thing to do in the world.
Especially because my mom is like
Your mom's a horny girl.
No, she isn't. She's some weird asexual person that only wanted children. I'm pretty sure my dad hasn't got fucked or whatever in like 45 years. Shouldn't have said that. A little bit drunk right now.
Would you, with the opportunity, would you check out the porn he watches? If his phone is open, you could look?
No.
Just curiosity-wise?
No. What? Would you? Would you look at the porn your dad watches?
I would think about it. It would cross my mind.
I'm pretty sure my mom and dad had sex 5 times, and they fucking scored 5 for 5.
Wesley busts fat nuts if that's the case.
5 for 5.
His boys could swim.
Yeah.
He may not look like it, but...
And then he had a girl, and he was like, "That's enough. That's enough." we fucked up.
It's not fun anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't fun anymore.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so this car pulls over,
the hot babe,
girl from. Anyways, and she's just kind of like, where are you going? I was like, doing a podcast, blah blah. It was just kind of like a nice little ego boost.
It's cool that she like fucking pulled over.
It's honestly, it's a little bit weird, but it was.
It is a little weird. Could you imagine doing it being that as the guy?
Oh, no, it'd be creepy.
It'd be so creepy.
It'd be creepy as fuck.
Unless you're like good friends back in the day.
And it was, just straight ego boost. It was just like kind of like, that felt good. I didn't drop like I'm.
That's how simple men are. We're just like a hot girl noticed me.
Yeah.
Not even it was like wanted to bang me. Just noticed me, pulled over to talk.
Well, plus I was like, trying to find a way to squeeze into our 30-second conversation across the sidewalk, yelling with traffic going by that I'm married now.
Oh, she's on the other side of the road?
No, she's next to me, but I didn't go next to her car. I'm technically still have COVID.
Yeah.
And she's just, said something about, talked to me on Facebook, and I was kind of like, I'm married. My wife's gorgeous. She's hotter than you, but like, thanks for pulling over.
Did you say that? Any of that?
No, I didn't say any of that, but like...
It's a dope move. I saw Bobby Lee do that in an interview.
Yeah.
He was like busting this chick's balls about her relationship. He's like, it's not going well, is it? Like Bobby Lee's doing that to the interviewer. And she was a good sport. But she was like, how about you? Is yours? He's like, actually, it's going really good. She's actually way better than you and way hotter. He just said it to her face.
Yeah. If I could get gay for a second.
I mean, we're dressed... perfectly to
we're
get dressed.
We're dressed for the occasion.
We're dressed for the occasion.
If I could get gay for my wife here, it's a
oh god.
It's a profound.
Dude, you said Wesley's not busting fat nuts on the regular.
Oh god.
It's a profound.
Dude,
love
his chest hair's probably pregnant at this point.
For my wife. I know that everybody says this, but what's like I always had the walls up, and all of a sudden now we're married, and you can just like love her as hard as you want, and it just feels, I don't know, we're just so gay for each other, us two. I don't know, I shouldn't have said that probably.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Well, it's gay.
It's cute.
It's gay shit, dude.
You can be gay.
I'm embarrassed.
You are embarrassed. I can tell. You can be gay for a woman, but only in the privacy of both your homes.
Exactly. You shouldn't be saying this shit on a podcast.
No, dude.
So
you just lost like 3 man
So that
points.
felt good. And then I'm walking a little bit further, and I see a guy I met from rugby, and we just kind of like, how's it going, brother?
Bro,
blah, blah,
down
blah.
a little bit.
Yeah, and then I don't know, nice sunset. I mean, the podcast was good. I had more things to say, but I forget. Anyways,
You skipped in the door.
skipped in
Like
the door.
fucking Dorothy down the yellow brick road, dude. You were having a good day.
Oh, and then well, because I was listening to the Surge podcast with Mark Maron, and then as soon as that went off, one of my favorite Kalma songs came on, "Moon of My Nights," and it just reminded me of my wife.
The Diddleys. Oh my god, you're so gay, dude. You know what's
It's true.
You know what's a good podcast you should listen to? I've just been checking
Gay
it
for
out.
my wife. That should be a podcast.
Yeah, people would love listening to that. Fucking women would even. Gay
That's
men.
what poetry is.
Gay men. Yeah, poetry sucks.
I know.
Objectively sucks.
I actually agree.
Poetry got like turned null and void once they started adding guitar to the back.
I
of
gotta ask you: have you read any poetry?
Well, sure, you're forced to read it in school and shit.
Okay, but like, have you read poetry?
Have I
books?
seeked out poetry on my own?
I've read. I've
heard
a bunch
people
of poetry.
dictate poems where I was like,
Sylvia Plath isn't
not
bad.
That's what I'm saying. I've heard poems where I'm like, this is probably the best of the genre, and I'm like, that's not bad. I don't want to puke in my mouth, but I would still never
The
seek out.
Carnation of Sam McGee. That was
It's never that good though.
It's pretty good. Mother Teresa actually has my favorite poem, and I'm not going to quote it because I can't remember it, but it's basically
she's kind of the devil, according to this documentary I saw.
Here's the thing about Christians.
Mm-hmm.
They honestly mean well. My parents mean well. They try, like, they've done more tangible good in the world than I'll ever do. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when they're like, we shouldn't have abortions, like, when gay people shouldn't get married, my mom literally believes that gay people are hurting themselves. And if we make laws against them getting married,
We'll
or,
stop
like,
butt
being
fucking?
accepted and stuff... No, she thinks that, like, it's a sin, so it's like a psychological disorder. So she believes she's helping. That's how fucking she's so wrong. She thinks she's right. It's actually.
What does she think about the trans movement?
Oh, you know, she feels bad for them. She goes, "I'm sorry that they have to go through that. Those poor people."
I feel exactly the same way. I'm not even kidding.
I know.
You have to, like, to be yourself. You have to chop your dick off. Major surgery.
God made them that way.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
As Lady Gaga says, born this way.
She also said poker face, fucker face.
My favorite part
Well-known
about
fact.
born this way is they're cutting their dicks off. You weren't born that way. You were born with a dick.
That was pre-movement, though. That was still just the gays. That's just us at that point.
Fair enough. But no, you weren't. I was born this way. No, you weren't.
Fundamentally speaking, you're asked to change the way you're born. Yeah, it is weird.
I had another thing.
Oh, this podcast. It's really good. I think you'd like it.
Which one?
I've been listening to it. It's called Have You Met Chad?
Fuck off. I just did Have You Met Chad yesterday.
Yeah, that's all.
I thought it was a pretty good episode. You better leave the beginning in when I embarrass you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We're not going to go there.
No.
Oh, speaking of podcasts, no big news for this podcast, our podcast right now.
Am I finding this out for the first time?
No, you know this a little bit, but
Okay.
a little bit more news.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody introduced me to a new podcast called Heaven Bent, and it's about the Toronto revival. Basically, how my parents got famous. It's really well done. It's like a journalist podcast. She she's on the scene. She talks to people who were there. She does, like, good work, but it's awesome. Anyways,
You know the Patreon? I was just looking at the other day. I forget. Like, we've done a lot of episodes at this point.
yeah.
We have one podcast, obviously the Shitcast. One called the Shitcast. We have another podcast that it's titled "Don't Listen to This Podcast." And then I looked up this. It's like one of the most listened to podcasts.
Because people are idiots.
But we genuinely meant this
Bad.
sucks.
It's a bad one.
It's like the most listened to.
That actually sucks for us.
I know.
That really actually sucks for us.
I was like, that's the exact opposite effect that we wanted. But doesn't that sound intriguing? Don't listen to this podcast.
It's
Because now you want to know why.
Yeah.
And then you find out the reason is it just sucks. And you go, oh. And then you listen to the Shitcast. You're like, oh, well, I guess they're just telling the truth in all their titles.
Those are the two you listen to.
Yeah.
Fuck us. Fuck us.
We're the best marketers, dude.
We're the worst. Anyways, but big news for this podcast is, anyways, a real journalist with a real podcast.
Mm-hmm. Are you calling our podcast not the one true podcast?
Exactly.
I don't even know if we can qualify hers as a podcast since we have the one
point
true
is,
podcast.
she wants to work with us,
and I mean, lucky for her that she gets the opportunity.
as you would. I don't know. I think I'm very excited about it. And
yeah, it'll be fun.
By the way, if you're listening to this and you want to know, like, if you don't know me at all, I feel like everybody who listens to this already knows me, but if you don't know me at all,
I mean, they don't.
If you don't know,
you don't have 1,000 friends.
We have 1,000 listeners.
Yeah, about that.
I thought we were in
probably more unique ones. But.
That's awesome. Anyway, so if you don't know me, if you want to know where I came from, listen to Heaven Bent Season 1. It's literally my parents get famous story. It's my parents aren't mentioned in it or anything.
I thought I was about to say holy shit, because Stacy and Wesley Campbell, I don't know if you've been checking the YouTube comments. Go to that clip we did on YouTube if you want to check it out, if you haven't seen it yet.
That's the other thing.
But it's really interesting. But the comments are there. People knew your parents, went to their church.
They're famous. They're famous people.
There's a bunch of comics of people going, I know they're not. I hate bringing this
Dude,
up. 'Cause
say it. They're fucking frauds.
Yeah, that's
they're
what
not
everyone's saying.
frauds.
But I like Stacy and Wesley.
I do too. I want to
They're
say
your parents, and
they're not
fundamentally
frauds.
very nice, good
They
people.
believe what they're doing,
But
and they do good work. But
you know how we were always
that is
talking.
fucking
but
weird.
we were always talking. I just want to say real quick that we were always talking that they do good work and people appreciate it. Not everyone does.
No, because they fuck people up. That's
Yeah.
dude. My wife the other day.
My wife.
She just
Spilled
ever
your
so
favorite
gently.
fucking
She was
thing.
like, maybe I think that you actually are traumatized from that.
Oh, really?
And I was like, well, she said that a few times, and I was like,
I mean,
no,
you are
no,
for sure.
no, but yeah, exactly. I'm like, I've devoted my life to doing a podcast to post for him. Of course, I'm not traumatized.
Hasn't affected me negatively one bit.
No, but that was the first time I actually I just started laughing. I was like, yeah, I guess. Here's the thing: I was treated well. I had so much experiences that people wouldn't get. I traveled around the
Well,
world.
here's the nice thing about being in a privileged country is that you can have a great life and still have things to complain about,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah,
You can call yourself traumatized when there's people that
by
work
flying
since the
around the world,
I know.
staying in 5-star hotels. I know it sounds fucking bananas.
But for some reason,
I literally hate myself for that.
no. My point is, for some reason, having that allows you to reflect on it, and you'll only find problems.
Dude, that's
the people that work all day, 12-hour days, don't kill
Don't have-
themselves.
yeah, don't have time.
They never kill
don't have
themselves. They're not doing any. I wonder how last year compares to this one.
The guilt I felt. I mean, we've talked about this before. Like when I canceled my last, I used to sponsor 4 kids, and then 3, and then 2, and then I canceled my last sponsorship.
That feels
to
weird.
and I was like, I'm a piece of shit. That was I was like, I should just kill myself. Honestly, I've squandered the best life ever. I felt like that for a long time.
Well, and on a down note, no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm over it.
Yeah, clearly.
Kids who make this fucking outfit I'm wearing, suck it up. Seriously.
I mean,
Just so you know, I felt bad about it for about a year, and now I'm over it, and I'm having a good time.
really though, the child stitching on this is just wonderful.
Yeah. What did you just bring up? Oh yeah,
Your
that
parents.
that video.
Mhm.
Okay, so I had what I thought might have been a serious fight with my parents about that, because they asked me several times to take it down, and they're getting complaints from
Your post on Facebook.
no the YouTube video, the Prophet's son reacts.
Really?
Yeah, because
Oh, I didn't even know that.
my people in my mom's online prophecy school are seeing that and being like, "What's with this?" Right? So they don't want to have to answer to that, right? So
I mean, it sucks to get in that debate, but fundamentally, if you're trying to offset what they're doing,
exactly. No,
this has been the most effective thing.
Finally, it's well, I actually kind of thought this was happening earlier. Eventually, I knew, I'm doing the Bible Beater podcast.
Well, we had to lazily jump on a trend to get anyone to even hear about it,
Yes.
because we don't know how to do any of that.
That's the point.
It's fucking.
That's what I told. So, anyways, they were like, "Please take the video down," and I was like, "No." And I wrote them. I felt a well thought out. I spent some time, wrote a letter, email.
Right, fundamentally, I don't agree with you, and I think the people looking at it in your prophecy
Oh,
school is
should
a positive for humanity.
Should we read it?
If
Actually,
you're comfortable doing that.
I'm fully comfortable reading it. I actually really the thing.
I mean, all your favorite podcasts are conversations you've had with other people that you get to read again.
yes,
So.
yes. Well, I'll just spoil the ending. So,
Well, let's read it if we're gonna read it.
I'm gonna read it, but I'll just spoil the ending.
Okay.
I turned my phone off because we started the podcast. Do you have internet there? Can you just go to my Gmail? Anyways, I really kind of thought this might be the all ties cut and I don't get free phones anymore. And it didn't end that way. She just was like, I still love you.
You do have a fucking privileged life.
I know. I'm fully aware of the amount of scumbag I am. If you could talk for a second while I look this up.
So the conversation went, Caleb, you need to fucking remove this. This is a problem for us. And we've had a very easy life where our life has
We've been duping the masses
Yeah.
for years.
We just pretty much say what we want to happen, and it does because people think it's God saying it. So you're throwing a wrench in the us being deities in the minds of our followers who are taking an online prophecy school.
I know. I'm like, what I should have said was like, listen, they're dumb enough to pay for online prophecy school. They're not going to leave.
How are they finding it? Just by searching Stacey Campbell on YouTube?
I don't know. It's got a couple thousand views, but nothing substantial.
I know.
I don't know.
Like most of our views, I'm pretty sure came from people searching the original video. So it's funny to like that those people would be seeking out a guy playing guitar over your mom, mocking her. You know, they're already finding that.
I mean, like most likely they just searched Stacey Campbell. And
yeah, but my point is, we're not the top 4 things, so you have to like scroll down.
Reacts videos go on like whatever the algorithm is. We have 3,000 videos on the Reacts, or 3,000 views on the Reacts.
Almost 4, no big deal.
Oh my God, I haven't had to do my password in forever. Let's see if I can remember it.
Just turn your phone back on.
I don't have email on my phone.
What?
Well, I mean, maybe I do, but I've never looked at my email on my phone.
Computer only email?
I hate using the phone for anything. I hate Instagram. I hate.
You play chess on it.
Fair enough. At stoplights.
Yeah.
I'll lose it. I'll fucking lose a game at a yellow. So I'm 0 for 1.
You're like, I got this looks like about a 2-minute light. So I got about a minute and 30 seconds to lose this chess game real quick. Take my rating so I can pwn some noobs later.
I can't even get into my own email.
You don't know your password? Is it password? Have you tried password?
I think it's.
That was dumb.
I know.
Young T, if you want to timestamp that, I probably should bleep that out. Because I'm guessing that's not the only account you have with that. Yeah.
So I've tried it like 5 times. I can't get in.
All right. Well, I guess you have to paraphrase then.
Fuck me.
I don't know what else you want me to do here.
I know. I mean, you're right. Anyway, so I started off like.
Dude, it would have been so good how bad you wrecked your mom if you had your phone.
I hate that. He's referencing our most recent Patreon episode where I was less like mass jerking myself off about how right I was. Honestly, it was cringy to listen to. I'm embarrassed about that. I hate myself.
Yeah, good thing the stories were funny enough.
The podcast itself was good, but me going, oh, listen how right I am. It was so cringe, man. I hate that. Anyways, so I guess so. Yeah. So this, argument I'm in with my parents. Take the video down. So I prefaced it with like, I love you guys, and I'm a 34-year-old stay-at-home son who's done nothing with his life. That's had $20,000 plus debt paid off and plane tickets, and all that. Like basically, they're the reason I'm alive, and I've done nothing. So
you've been very ungrateful.
Yeah, I'm a spoiled brat. I even used the Bible verse, the prodigal son.
You just threw that at them.
I mean, they eat it up. They eat it up.
Your dad does love how much you know about the Bible.
Okay, so that's all true. That is all true.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second point was I'm not taking the video down. And then I said I put it up for 2 reasons. Neither of them were malice. One of them is to leverage the views, leverage the fame of the other video to get our podcast popular. And the second one, and the reason I won't take it down, is because I believe what they're doing is dangerous. Most of the people that storm the Capitol are evangelicals or evangelical sympathizers.
I don't even know how.
One of their guys
I know some of them are.
Lance Wallnow, that fucking idiot, the guy that wrote God's Chaos. He's some Christian guy that says Trump's God's guy, and he's like one of the main.
Well, he's got godlike hair.
Fuck that guy, dude. I fucking hate that guy. He was there. He didn't storm the Capitol, but he brought thousands of people to the place. He's one of the biggest dumbasses ever. That's the shit they talk about. Like I hear their phone calls. There's like Zoom meetings of leaders going, how can we get Trump in the office? Because that's what God wants. So like I'm like, you guys are on the wrong side of history based on a 2,500-year-old book. Like fuck you with the anti-abortion. I didn't say it. So I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry. Obviously, I'm not traumatized.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm not. Even keeled.
Yeah, USA. I won't fall for it.
Thank you, Kyle. That's a very good reminder. Sorry.
No, it's way funnier when you're mad. Go on. Did they know the buffalo head did?
I know. I don't. Nothing. Like Lance Wallnau didn't. Like I said, didn't go in, but he was there. He was like leading a march with a megaphone towards the place. Like. That's how fucking wrong they are. And I'm like, this is dangerous. I'm not taking it down. And then I guess those are my main points. And then we had some personal conversations. I said, I'm willing to talk about this more. I'm willing to talk about it privately. I'm willing to go on your podcast and talk about it because my mom has a podcast, Conversions.
Does she?
Well, it's my mom and dad's together. Conversions, if you want to hear delusional lies.
Why would they put you on their podcast?
Well, because
you would just do this.
Exactly. I want to go on their podcast to do this. And I said, and I got my digs in. I said, surely the creator of the universe can rise above my dinky little criticism, and which they cannot deny. They can't deny that.
Yeah, what could you do?
Yeah, exactly. So
Also, God is going to punish me as He sees fit
by blessing me constantly.
Yeah.
There is no God. The fact how big of an asshole I am and how good my life is proves there is no God. Well, that's inverse to like the people that died in Auschwitz. Their life was so bad, they're like, there must be no God. I'm like, my life's so great, there isn't a God.
Yeah, it's true. You do not deserve it.
No, I'm an asshole.
And they didn't deserve that.
What are you going to do?
You know what? If I die this year, it might be proof that I'm God Himself.
Oh, man, I think I've said this once before, but like, inevitably, bad things will happen to me.
Yep. And
Christians who listen to this will be like, that's God's punishment. Like how the Bible says, and he reigned for 34 years, but then God destroyed him. Like the dumbest shit ever.
Oh, dude, if you have a kid and there is a God.
Which I won't.
It's fucked, dude.
What do you mean?
Kid's fucked. If there's a real God.
Don't fuck my kid, dude.
Wow, I'm dressed.
I'm dressed for
What
it.
am I supposed to do?
What
are we doing here? Why do I have this podium? And why do I have this robe on if I'm not going to get my dick sucked?
I like that you immediately went, well,
what am I
going to wear this and not fuck kids?
Like, I don't want to do it, but here we are.
Oh, by the way, Pope Francis, my mom's boy, just came out and said Catholic Church ain't blessing the fags.
What?
Pope
I thought he was like pro-gay.
Yeah, turns out.
I mean, he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be.
Biblically.
He said priests cannot bless gay marriages. And then,
wow.
One of my favorite things, this is so hilarious to me, that rogue priests are still blessing gay marriages. And good for them. Yeah. But the hilarity, the dumbness.
If you're gay and you're going to get...
Could you... No, but like... Idiot. Okay, so the Pope says God doesn't bless gay shit. They're like, we're going to bless it anyways. That's two people that think the same.
It's funny that the people going to get blessed are being like, God, that they are channeling God. I'm getting God's blessing.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Like, if I bless them, God will bless them.
Yeah.
And that's actually biblical because God in the Bible blesses people he doesn't want to bless.
Right.
That's
the
so
hairy dude.
funny.
That's it.
That's so funny that God blesses people against his own will.
Do you think we could sneak a couple blessings in from your parents?
I mean, why not? I am the firstborn. I have the firstborn blessing.
That's true.
Could you imagine blessing something against your own will being the most powerful thing in the universe?
If we can get your parents in a video, your mom in a video to bless our podcast, nothing would make me happier. Is that impossible?
It's so easy. I could trick her into doing that in a second.
Do it. That would be.
All we have to do is
say
she will say, "I'll never bless your podcast," and we just like edit out "never." I bless your podcast.
Yeah, we got to get her to. Yeah, we can sneak that in.
All right. I think.
Would you ever bless the Bible Beater podcast on CanadaComedy.ca?
Yeah. No, I would never bless. And then it's just like I would bless the Bible Beater podcast. I think we've rambled for quite some time. I think it's time to read.
Yeah, on topic though.
I'm very excited about this. We didn't get to it really last week.
Oh, real quick. You know what I did last night? Have you ever done this? I've prided myself in not ever have doing this.
I'm so excited to hear what it is.
I really.
What'd you do?
You do stuff when you're fucking drunk.
Just say it.
Okay. So on the Chad podcast, I have to bring it up.
Yeah.
I coined this term, horny boy. And I call Chad, Chad, did you horny boy this girl? And what it is you just message them, like when you never really
So
text
you
them.
horny bored some
I
girl?
horny boy girl at 2 a.m. on Instagram. Slid into her DMs, dude. And then immediately,
The cringe is real.
immediately embarrassed to the point where I was laughing out loud at myself.
That's good. Man, send her a follow-up. Sorry, I was just a horny boy. I jerked off. I have a clear mind. I'm wearing a robe. I only want to fuck kids now.
It was so cringy too. The whole thing is cringe. So I was like 2 a.m. She had posted an Instagram story, I don't know, 8 hours earlier, of her just wearing some like St. Patrick's Day outfit, saying St. Patrick's should look like a fucking
Slut Patrick, more like. Boom!
Oh, dude. The picture got me, dude. It was a fucking. She was looking like a real bae.
If your eyes,
She was a potential bae for day in that one.
if your eyes,
Bae for day, not for all days. One day though, for sure.
if your eyes cause you to sin, Kyle, gouge them out.
Is that the rule?
That's literally what Jesus said.
Well, shit.
Literally, Jesus said, "Gouge out your eyes, you horny boys."
I did horny boy, and then she went. Guess we don't really. I talked to her a little bit, like barely on there. So we had a little bit of prior conversation, but I was like, she wrote, he, what? And then I just went, huh? Question mark? To just be a dick. Just
Nice,
fuck
nice.
with the conversation.
Nice
Real good,
follow-up.
right? And then I was like, what? Why am I doing that? I have to write something else that just ends this, right? So that
I want to come in your eyes.
yeah, I should have wrote that. Honestly, it would have been way better than what I had wrote.
What did you write?
It's so gay. I just wrote something super gay. I just wrote,
Kyle's in feeling real consternation. He's like as embarrassed as I was.
I typed it out. It was like, I was like, by the way, you look great. Green is your color or something like that.
The Emerald Isle.
And I typed out and looked at it and was like, I was second guessing it in the moment. Right.
Yeah,
So I went downstairs because
like a horny boy would.
Angus was drinking. I was on the shitter, by the way, doing this. And I went and showed Angus, and he was like, I was like, should I send this? And he's like, yeah, I think it's fine.
Nice one, Angus.
He wasn't doing it maliciously. I don't care if he pretends he was. He thought it was fine at the time.
Good one, Angus.
Just like I did.
I love that
just
you
don't care.
I love. Yeah, that's.
I think
truly
that's probably more of it. Yeah.
I love that you tried to rope him into your guilt. Like he's just as dumb as me. He said send it. He thought it was good.
I did. Yeah. I tried to deflect some blame there. So then immediately I press send. And then I read it out loud, and we just burst out laughing. It was so bad. I was like, there's nothing I could do now. There's nothing I could do.
Any response?
No.
That's so
I got
funny.
a response this morning.
Oh, you got a response.
She just hearted it and went, thank you.
Seriously, I'm a horny boy still. You should follow that up, Kyle.
Well, here's the thing. I think
What
I
would
did
you
it
say to Chad in this?
because she's tried to.
Hey,
Yeah.
you've been hyping up. Have you met Chad on our
Yeah.
podcast for days?
Mhm.
Let's turn our podcast.
Fastest growing podcast on the network.
Okay, so of the network.
Yeah.
So now I'm you and you're Chad. What's your next response?
What would I say? What do I say to him?
Yeah.
Chad, next time you feel like horny boying. Kyle, next time you feel like horny boying. Before you click send, go downstairs and ask Angus because he will know what to
Oh yeah,
do.
it looks good to me. Send that shit, dog.
No, go into your room, beat off.
Yeah.
Because you obviously need to squeeze one out.
But so I'm more curious about
Yeah.
is what your follow-up response is going to be to the heart.
Nothing. I'm
Notice
saying
you hearted my message.
Then she hearted it, wrote thank you, and then put like an angel emoji, which I don't really know what that means because she's a lot younger than me. And here's the thing: I'm trying to play the game.
Get out the game, man, dude. Just marry a fucking pagan Viking, like awesome.
See, I'm actually anti-marriage, not fake anti-marriage like you.
Seriously,
Yeah.
the only reason I did it is because of Visa. I don't actually love her.
Yeah, right. You couldn't fake that gay-ass speech at the
Honestly-
beginning of this podcast.
Honestly,
That could not be faked.
all I want is cinnamon buns, and
That is pretty good.
the government got in the way.
That's what they used to say, right? That food is the way to a man's heart.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty fucking true.
It's
In
the way
this
to my
case.
gut, at least.
So,
All right, we've
which
rambled
eventually
enough.
goes into your heart.
Do you remember what we read about on your birthday last week, Kyle? Of course you don't. Of course you don't, and we only got 7 verses in.
We were drinking. I remember you kept on saying it was a good story.
It's
so I
a
was like,
fantastic story.
So I was like, then why are we ruining it right now? Because I'm in the mood to ruin whatever you're going to say.
And it's thus the name, It's My Party,
Yeah.
and I'm ruining it.
Yeah.
So we've been introduced to the prophet Elijah. He
Mm-hmm.
comes of age in the reign of Ahab.
Come.
Bitch.
He comes of age
Thanks, Wes.
in the rule of Ahab, the worst king. So we've read for the last 6 chapters about each king was worse than the one before it. So at this point, you got to imagine some pretty sick shit is going on. Obviously, that's not true. Obviously, for 100 years, every king can't be worse than the one before, or no one would
It's
be
funny
left.
that they don't describe it or even attempt to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, and what they mean by worse is they didn't really they didn't burn enough sheep.
Yeah. Because, relatively speaking, they've said some shit that was supposed to be positive that was pretty reprehensible.
Yes, exactly. And if you're looking for morals in this book, you're
It
actually.
would suck to be a sheep that believes in God, you know?
I mean, everyone who believes in God is a sheep. Jesus said Jesus is the great shepherd. You literally have to turn your brain off, become like a sheep or a child to get to heaven. That's verbatim from Jesus.
And then they can be like, so why? Okay, so God has to burn you because you're a sheep.
Oh,
and then you go, I
no,
have to die.
You're missing the point a little
I know,
bit.
I know. It's just,
Okay.
want to get my sheep bit in there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So
Sorry.
that's it. Then we ask why? Why God? Because you're a sheep that believes in God. Why? Oh, why God?
Why?
Do you forsaken me, burning me on this pile of sticks, on this faggot, if you will?
Also, it's
Yeah.
what it's
And then he just goes, because I like the smell.
which is biblical.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's some of the most absurd shit ever that God needs blood, and Christians go like, God's
He
nice.
doesn't need it, but he wants it.
No, he needs it. He literally
wants it.
No, he literally needs it. He literally needs it.
What's his favorite album by Slayer? Probably Raining Blood.
Dechristianizes Behemoth actually, but you know the lead singer of Slayer is devout Catholic with 11 kids or some
That
shit.
shit blows my mind.
Yeah.
Do you know the Misfits got turned by their third album, turned Christian, and then started regretting their previous works? But they're
What a bunch of pussies!
I know.
What a bunch of fucking pussies!
They also they haven't made any money off their music because they don't put out new music, but they argue
The
over
best shirts ever.
who gets the rights to the shirts. Yeah.
Spencer's.
Yeah.
Spencer's gifts.
But so they started releasing because they're like Halloween rock, I would call it, right? It's cartoonishly over the top.
Yeah.
I got something to say.
Song kicks
I
ass.
raped your mother today, right?
Yeah.
One of the most famous songs. Now they're like, we can't do that, but it has to have the same tone. So
Fucking pussies! You fucking cowards!
so their release, it was just called "Dig Up Her Bones."
So rape her again?
I don't know,
Why did they just call it rape her again?
because they've turned a new leaf, if you will.
Put your dick in her ribs. The soft ivory.
Fuck her in the eye. Fuck her in the eye.
If you were gonna fuck a skeleton, where would you fuck it?
I mean, the only holes left are really eye sockets at that point, so I really gotta go for the socket.
The skull kind of acts like a fleshlight in keeping
Yeah.
the load
You
contained.
mean you lube that thing up enough, I could probably bust.
All right. I think we've pissed enough people off. I want to read. This is a great story. If you don't remember from last
I
week,
like how in Caleb's mind, people are just trudging through the pod. They're actively seeking the podcast up, and they're trudging through it,
Kyle, it's in the name.
just waiting for the glorious words of God to be
I like-
bestowed upon them.
I like how in Kyle's mind, people think that people listen to it for him, and
Oh,
if
they
the
do, baby.
and if the Bible didn't exist, that we would just still have a successful podcast.
We would.
That's some of the most
If you'd like-
delusional,
if you'd like-
retarded shit.
if you'd like-
That's the dumbest take I've ever heard.
Why am I dressed like God then? If I'm not right.
Yeah, because of the Bible, because the name of the podcast, because we read it every week.
Why am I
if we
30
dressed
why am I
like
30
this and didn't talk about the Bible, we would be assholes.
We would be the Heavy Met Chad podcast.
Yeah, which I was about to say
Fastest
nobody.
growing podcast on the network.
I was gonna say nobody listens to, but
We're over the 100 listener mark a week now. That's pretty good. It's a growing
honestly,
podcast. For a new pod.
if you're an incel,
Yeah.
if you're a guy with not a lot going on, if
Yeah.
you're a dropout from youth group, which is probably why you listen to this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
Have You Met Chad's for you. And if you're looking for empty, vapid,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
nothing,
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
sinful relationships,
Fuck yeah, dude.
Have You Met Chad's for you. If you want to get married to the love of your life, who's from Sweden and she has green eyes,
God damn
long
it.
blonde hair, huge fat fucking milkers. This is your podcast.
This is the one.
Sorry, Camilla's cousin.
Oh yeah. And brother.
I've sucked on those a lot,
I fucked your sister, dude. I hate to break this to you,
like a lot,
but we fuck a lot. She sucks my dick sometimes.
like a champion.
Oh Jesus Christ.
But we're here to talk about the widow of Zarephath. We're gonna need to do some edits, probably.
No. We're not editing that out.
The great thing is she doesn't listen to it. She doesn't
How
like.
could she get mad?
Oh no, it's all true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, God gave her fat milkers and we can't comment on it?
yeah. Like I'm not gonna. My favorite thing, like a defense for slander, is truth. So if someone's like, if you say a bunch of horrible shit about somebody and they're like, that's slander, and then you're like, hey, it's all true. They don't.
I mean, technically, slander has to be false. So,
I guess fuck me. Yeah, you're right.
no, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, but it was dumb of me to. I brought it up in a.
Like it was a profound realization when it's literally the definition of
Yes.
the word.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. Anyways, the widow of Zarephath. We're in 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 7.
Hell yeah.
So Elijah's been there's a drought for 3 years because God, in the chosen place where the Israelites are supposed to live. I have to say, I have to bring this up every time, that the Israelites live in their chosen land, the holy place. I'm putting quotes on all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks there. It's a fucking desert. It's a miserable scrap.
You live in the desert!
Yeah, exactly.
Move where the food is!
Exactly. They're like, this is our chosen place. And now they have it back based on literally this book. And it still sucks there. And they're fighting over it. It's like two homeless people fighting over a grocery cart. It's just like, why do you guys want this so bad? They're like, because I was there first.
Because I live in it.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's a drought that God did because people are evil. And we're in, so Elijah's the prophet. He's getting fed by birds.
It's funny. I just realized, like, those are such small places. They're fighting the surrounding area, right? They're, like, probably genetically the same people,
In this book, we've read about the different times they took women slaves from all the neighbors,
That's what I mean.
and they've also been raided by their neighbors.
Like they just didn't get the last name that qualifies them to be in the Holy Land, but they're genetically probably the same.
Dude, I wish you
It's
could
just funny to make that
have that
distinction.
realization on a macro level. And
I
just
do. I
realize-
just think it's funny to be racist sometimes. Racism is inherently funny. Just a little mild, cute racism. What's wrong with that? Choiner? That's funny. It's funny, mild racism.
It's funny because that term isn't banned yet.
It's funny that Chinese people pronounce noodles neuters. It just is.
And they invented it.
Yeah, they invented it. They say it wrong.
No.
It's funny.
That's, what's funny about that?
Funny to me.
Is the white guy fucking they invented it and they say it wrong.
I was joking. I know.
Oh. I thought I got you. I thought I got you.
Dude. Yeah, you say our language, the thing in our language wrong. They probably say it right in Chinese. See? Little mild racism never hurt nobody,
Except genocide, slavery,
I wouldn't call
race
that,
wars.
You're calling genocide mild?
All right.
You know that everyday racism, like genocide of attempted genocide of an entire population? Some people would call that some shenanigans.
Some people, I feel directly attacked. All right.
You were.
It's been about 45 minutes, and we're about to read the Bible here.
It's a great story, though. That's what we got on our side.
The widow of Zarephath. Sometime later, the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. Then the word of the Lord came to him, Elijah. Go at once to Zarephath of Sidon and stay there. I have commanded a widow in that place to supply you with food. So he went to Zarephath. When he came to the town gate, a widow was there gathering sticks.
Is it a bundle yet?
She's gathering them into a
Okay,
bundle.
eventually it will be.
A widow was there with
Eventually they won't be allowed in church. Gathering up sticks together, and you can't get blessed by a priest anymore. You bless those sticks one at a time.
Hang on, is that two sticks? All right, 2 sticks. 3 sticks, I'll allow it. 4 sticks.
4's a party, dude.
That's too many.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You put 4 of them in there, they start docking each other. It gets weird, dude.
gathering sticks.
Yeah, I don't know if you know the Pope just banned that.
Well,
So-
no blessing sticks.
I can't bless them.
You can bless sticks individually,
yeah.
but as soon as they gather together into a bundle,
As soon as you collect them up.
yeah.
Yeah. We've turned a new leaf. I will not utter that word from my lips.
Now, dressed like this, I can't.
I can't do it. Because I'm not a self-hating bundle.
I love calling them bundles. Get the bundles out of
It
church.
is funnier. Dude, if we could get canceled, this might be the episode.
Who could cancel
They
us?
can't. We're thriving on the listeners,
Patreon can
the
cancel
Patreon,
us.
the unfaithful.
We have 4 fucking...
Actually, Patreon could, I guess, theoretically cancel us. They've done it before.
fucking good.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Honestly,
That'd be kind of cool.
Take away our $70.
It's actually more than that now.
I believe
The listeners are coming. The unfaithful are coming in droves, dude. They're finding
they're
out
coming in
about-
bundles.
They're coming in one by one, and they're you don't want to know. You're not gonna like what you turned into. When there was one patron, you were fine.
That's funny. Sorry, I had to drink a little vodka there.
Oh hell yeah!
Hell yeah, brother.
So what's this? I always like it when you give a little. Why is the story good? Why are you stoked on
I'm
it?
about to read it, so I mean, we'll get there.
Yeah, okay.
So
I like a little teaser. I like a little flavor in my mouth. Like I don't watch a trailer before a movie.
I know I said David and the Mighty Men is my favorite. I say shit's my favorite all the time, but you know, top 5. Elijah is my favorite. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because Elijah is the guy that has a pray off. Moses did this with Pharaoh, but Elijah has a pray off with all the prophets of Baal, and fucking God like comes down in a pillar of fire, kills a bunch of people. Like
That's fucking dope.
It's badass.
If that happened to this podcast, I'd believe in God.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Burn us like the bundles we are, Almighty.
We have gathered.
Yeah.
We've taken form in the thing of what you hate.
So anyways, she's at the gate gathering sticks. Elijah called to her and asked, "Would you bring me a little water in a jar so that I might have a drink?" And as she was going to get it, he called, "And bring me, please, a piece of bread." This is actually the first historical instance of, "Go make me a sandwich, wench. Could you please get me a drink and also make me a sandwich?" And God told him to. I love that. Verse 12.
It was her last. She had no food, correct?
She's a widow in a 3-year drought, and he just rolls up and goes, "Get me some water. Also, bring me some bread." That's the first instance of "go make me a sandwich."
That's pretty sweet.
I love that. Yeah, I knew that you would like that.
Yeah.
verse 12.
Sucks that doesn't work anymore, though. I guess it works for you. I guess she's making you lots of food, lots of sandwiches. You got a sick classic. You got a classically Christian relationship, dude.
She likes to make me sandwiches.
That's nice. So when you say it, she'll enjoy herself in the kitchen.
Well,
Are you saying women belong in the kitchen?
I'm saying that they shouldn't be anywhere else. I'm saying that if they get out of the kitchen, you should put a fucking bag over their heads with just a slit. And they not
like I love being in the kitchen, but I'm dressed like a real bundle right now, so that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying women shouldn't be allowed to do anything other than what I want them to do.
When my dad was, when I was younger, I mean, my dad would renovate houses. And what people really weren't, now it's like a craze and people are doing it all the time. But people had no foresight. They go to these old houses and he'd tear out all the walls.
Jews have no foreskins. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Wesley saving you on that one. So, you know how like all these houses were designed with like corridors, and I realized it was so you could like enjoy yourself without looking at your wife doing stuff for you in the other room. Like the kitchen had like the most. Now they're all open. Like every kitchen that's designed in a new house is just like an open platform, and this is where we entertain. It was literally like some of them had a hole in the wall where they could like serve you the shit. So you didn't
I don't
want to
want to see your fucking dumb face.
Like what else could that have been for?
Make me a
There was
sandwich.
just a hole there.
I mean, I think that's a metaphor for what they are. Just a hole.
Yeah. How come it hurts when you say it?
Because I mean it.
Back to the Bible.
And back to the Bible. Verse 12. This is the widow talking. As surely as the Lord God lives. What a devout. I love. Okay, I want to point this out also. You'll notice that when women talk in the Bible, all they do is defer to men because men wrote it. It's just like, you're totally right all the time. There's no woman that's like, I don't think you're being very fair ever in the Bible. That's never happened once.
Sorry, what?
I'm talking about the misogyny of the Bible, written by men.
Yeah.
And every time a girl talks, they speak with complete deference to men.
What does that mean? What's that word mean?
It means like bowing down to like whatever you say. You're right.
Oh, of course.
I mean, because men wrote it.
Probably like that.
But no woman ever was like, I don't think this is very fair. Because men wrote it and women are second-class citizens. And if you're a woman that believes the Bible, I know I'm talking.
There's a feminist Bible.
I know that there is, but they're not listening to this. And I'm preaching to the choir. But if you're a woman that believes this shit and you're here because your husband made you listen to it, you're a fucking retard.
Well, when we used to get emails back in the day, we had.
You know why we don't? Because we were too mean.
Well, they shouldn't have written in stupid shit.
We should be nicer. We should endeavor to be nicer in the future.
Dude, I only got 6 gear, dog. Ain't gonna happen.
I'm off the chain. All right. As surely as the Lord, this is the woman talking. This is the man. This is men writing for women. As surely as the Lord your God lives, she replied.
If I was writing for women, I'd write them with some fat milkers, dude.
Fat fucking milkers, bro.
Then I'd marry them.
Like the Gaylord that you are. As surely as the Lord your God lives, she replied, I don't have any bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug.
Oh, good. So you have the ingredients for bread. So go make me some bread.
What she's saying is like, I have enough for me and my kid to have. Actually, I'll just keep reading. Only a handful of flour in a jar and a little in a jug. I'm gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son. That way we eat it and die. She's literally preparing her last meal, and Elijah rolls into town after being fed by birds like it's Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
And says, make me a sandwich. And she's like, I don't have enough. Me and my son are going to eat this and die.
He's just been gorging on food.
Yeah, literally laying back with his mouth open, and birds are putting food in his mouth.
I said this last time, I think, but I would just be fucking munching birds.
I mean, that seems reasonable.
Any bird that gets close to me. Like, they're going to be
Black chickens. They're ravens.
They're going to be going back for more bread, and he's going to be like, where's all the fucking birds? And the ones that make it back are going to be, okay, here's the thing, God, I know you're bringing him bread, but he's eating us.
That's hilarious to think, like, we feed birds bread. like today in this day and age. It's funny to think of birds feeding a man bread, and he's just laying there in the desert, and birds
That
are
is
like,
fucking
"Have some
weird."
bread, have some bread." So, so we may eat it and die. Verse 13. Elijah said to her, "Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said. But first, make a small cake of bread for me."
I totally understand. Last meal, you're gonna die. I get it.
Feed me
Go
first.
do that. Go do all that stuff. But make me mine
First.
obviously first, right?
Because God said, and I'm a guy.
You dumb fucking. I don't even want to say it in front of your kid, but
Go
I'm
ahead,
not
say
gonna
it.
say it, dude.
Why won't you say it?
I won't. I will not say it. I've turned a new leaf.
I think that you're a huge coward for not saying it.
I agree. That's who I am now. I'm
You're
Zen.
just going to agree with me?
I'm Zen.
I love that this is the exact inverse of yesterday's podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Verse 13, Elijah said,
I'm
"Don't." So make a
I
cake,
will not be triggered.
make a cake of bread for me from what you have, and bring it to me, and then make something for yourself and your son.
Oh, thank you. I'm allowed?
Yeah.
That's nice of you. With my own food? I can cook my own food and feed it to myself?
That's what it says, Kyle.
All right, that's how generous.
If you think that's fucked up,
I literally think that's supposed to read as him doing a nice thing, by the way.
I know, it's true. Yes, you're right.
It's
Yes,
fucking, yeah.
yes.
He let her eat. He could have just taken all her food, but he let her eat her own food.
That's so nice of him.
Yeah.
And then, well, what happens next kind of justifies the whole thing. So
Okay.
I'll just keep reading.
Well, God is going to reward him.
For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says: the jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the Lord gives rain on the land. So she went away and did as Elijah told her. So there was food every day for Elijah and for the woman and her family.
I like how they just say it's happening, but they don't really explain how. In my mind, the jug and the jar are not see-through.
No, they're
So they're not
pottery.
They're not really.
It's 2,000-year-old pottery. They don't
Witnessing
have
it.
glass.
It's a good point. So they're just pouring it, and they're like, "Oh my God, it won't stop coming out."
I love, yeah, like, you think the oil jug seems light, like it's milk in the fridge? You think it seems a little light?
Mm-hmm.
No, there's
Like
some more in
no,
there.
it's just
It just never ends.
it never ends. Yeah, because if it was clear, it's like doing the cups and balls.
Yeah.
With
yeah,
clear
yeah,
cups.
yeah. You're totally right. So
Like that would be a miracle. Watching it rise, that doesn't matter.
I mean, obviously, it didn't happen, but like everyone believes the story like it happened. Christians in droughts in different times of history, I've read about this, talk about feed us like Elijah, and they start biting rocks and breaking their teeth and then starve to death because God
What?
isn't real.
Why rocks?
That God will turn the loaves into bread is a different Bible verse, and so in Munster in the 1300s or some shit, they were
Sounds like a
starving.
made-up place.
It's a city today, you idiot.
Where? In Narnia?
In Germany,
Okay,
Allemande if you're French, Deutschland if you're German.
I am. I'm both those.
Oh, so you're from there and you don't know about it.
Yeah,
All right.
because you made it up. Sorry, go on. So you're in Munster.
Well, I'm just saying,
And people are eating rocks.
yeah, based on the Bible, because they're starving because there's no food,
Yeah.
and their teeth are breaking, and then they died anyways.
To be fair, they look like potatoes.
Didn't happen in Ireland. All right. Verse 15. She went away and did as Elijah told her. So there was food every day for Elijah and for the woman and her family. Not a family, there is no dad.
That doesn't qualify. You can't be a family without a father. Is that biblical or your personal opinion?
That's my personal opinion.
Right on. I agree.
Verse
I agree
15.
wholeheartly.
16.
For the jar, yeah, verse
Would you
16.
rather get raised by a single mother or a single father?
I mean, what a dumb thing to. Sorry.
Obviously, the answer is both parents.
Yeah.
But if you had to choose,
I didn't actually listen to
either.
your full question, so
what did you think I was going to say?
I thought you. I don't know. I was just like mad at you for proposing it.
Single mother or single father?
I
I guess your own parents.
mean,
That's a fucked up question, actually.
it
now
is
I
a
think
fucked
about
up
it.
question, especially coming from a guy that's just been like loved his whole life
Uh-huh.
and like told. My parents
It's unfathomable,
My
actually.
parents have supported me in every endeavor.
Same.
Even comedy, even the podcast where I devote my life to taking down what
My
they
parents
do.
did not love the comedy idea, but they knew I was going to do it regardless of what they thought. So
I kind of wanted them to be like, please go back to school. They're like, good for you.
Oh, no, they
whatever
did that to me.
Whatever you want to do it. And then I failed at that. And they're like, that's fine. We'll keep paying your credit card bills. Like, I'm the biggest fucking loser.
it's like, but I
ever.
racked up all the debt in the bars at my failed comedy shows. Doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
love you, son.
I hate that.
That's nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
They really have the ultimate trump card on the whole thing.
What, they love you? You're complaining about being loved. That you can't win an argument because they love you?
I guess I am, yeah.
That's the most first world fucking horse shit thing I've ever heard in my life. It's really annoying that my parents love me so much so I can't complain about their lack of affection.
Isn't it people in Syria getting bombed out of your houses?
Isn't it Zauer's gay ass family, dude? Is fucking
Sour's gay ass.
which you can't even say to his parents because they'll murder him.
It's a bundle ass.
Yeah, Zauer's a fucking bundle, dude.
Anyways,
you can see how big of a bundle he is on episode 2 of the Patreon.
so verse 16.
Yeah.
So there's food every day for the woman and her not family. For the jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry, in keeping with the word the Lord had spoken to Elijah. So, like, basically, she just had infinite oil and infinite flour. Like, it was Richie Rich with the McDonald's in his house. He just, like,
I think I saw someone do a bit on that.
it's a common. It's like this is one of the most famous Bible stories.
No, I mean about the Richie Rich thing. It's kind of funny that like you go to explain how you work. You work at a McDonald's in some kid's house, and he eats McDonald's once a week. Like, what are you even doing?
Yeah. I mean, that's funny. Yeah, I make one Happy Meal every Friday. And
I've never seen that movie, but as a kid, I just imagined it was awesome. So I have this idea that this movie is unbelievably good because it looked so cool to me as a kid, but I never saw it.
I mean, it's a kid's movie. It's made for kids, and it's it's when you're 13. It's like, imagine you could do whatever you wanted, and they made that a movie.
I like how it's not realistic at all.
Yeah, because you're 13.
Yeah, he's not like getting pussy and doing drugs.
At 13, you don't even want pussy. He's getting launched off a slingshot thing into a giant pond of like.
You didn't want
candy.
some fat milkers when you were 13?
No, I didn't want milkers. Against my will, I wanted milkers at 16, 17.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was wrong. I thought about gouging out my eyes,
Dude,
Mom.
It sucks to horny boy when you think you're going to hell doing it.
That's literally. It's such a damaging fucking message.
Like, imagine if I wasn't just embarrassed for doing that, and now I'm going to hell, and I truly believe that.
They made me read verses. Gouge out your eyes. Cut off your hand if you jerk off with it. That's fucked up.
Dude, if I cut off my hand, if I have no hand, I'm jerking off with stumps. It's happening.
Stumping yourself. Yeah. All right, verse 16. For the jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry, in keeping with the word of the Lord spoken by Elijah. Sometime later, the son of the woman who owned the house became ill.
That was nice of God.
Yeah, exactly.
But he gave him flour. That's pretty cool.
Thank you for making that point.
Yeah.
Because nothing happens without...
They're acting like God saved them from starvation, which is very nice. But then, he became ill.
God also made the fucking drought.
God thought it'd be funnier to watch him die of a terminal illness than of starvation.
Hang on, I've been starving him, but now I'm going to give him food and then kill him anyway.
Check this out. They think they're going to live? They're already terminally ill. Check this out. The whole time I'm going to make this dude sandwiches.
He became ill. He grew worse and worse and finally stopped breathing. She said to Elijah, "What do you have against me, man of God? Did you come to remind me?"
At least she's on the right page.
Yeah, she gets it.
Yeah, she gets it.
What did you have against me?
Nothing but terrible things have happened. Well, if the whole time she's like,
I made you the fucking sandwich.
No, but like,
you killed my son and fuck it.
In reality, she has like a certain amount of food and just is lying to him. And he's like, see, it's unlimited. And she's like, are you fucking asshole? Like,
it's actually
just
running
eating
out.
all her food.
Yeah, it's just running out.
Yeah.
She said to Elijah, "What have you done to me, or what do you have against me, man of God? Did you come to remind me of my sin and kill my son?" "Give me your son," Elijah replied. He took him from. Go.
The moment has passed, but I want to do the
Kiss the sun.
"Give me your son," Elijah replied. He took him from her arms, carried him to the upper room where he was staying, and laid him on his bed.
and then fucked
And
him.
fucked him to death again.
Dressed like us, just dressed like we are right now.
And he's like, he's already dead. This is no harm, no foul. That's what the Bible says.
What about
After
how about a gay native dude where his Indian name is Bundle of Sticks? 'Cause
All right, I'm on board.
it's like Screeching Eagle. and
I get
shit.
it.
Yeah. But the gay dude's name's Bundle. That's the whole thing.
All right. So Elijah took him to the upper room. After he came inside his asshole 7 times.
It does. I can't believe they put that in, but they did. It's in both versions that we're looking at right now.
It's amazing that they were able to translate Hebrew come to Greek come to English come.
It'd be funny to make your own translations, but just subtly add that shit in. Like the rest is word
That's
for
what
word.
everybody who translates it does, by the way. I know that you're joking,
Yeah.
but every translator adds their own slant on the translation. Every generation of translators reads a word differently.
It would be too hard to do this because it's too expensive. Rather, you could do it, but it'd be work. But it'd be funny to just release that version of the Bible.
What version?
Like your version where you're just fucking with it the whole time.
By the way, I'm literally writing that. As we go through the Bible, all our descriptions, I have an ongoing thing. I'm going to...
Yeah, I know.
If we ever get to the end of this,
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Dude, it'll sell so many copies because by the time we get to the Bible, we're going to be so fucking famous,
the
dude.
Apostate's Handbook. It's the Apostate's Bible. And it's going to be all that shit.
I just think it's funny to have exactly the same thing, but once in a while, and then he fucked him to death when he wasn't quite dead. And then you go on as normal.
He noticed he was breathing still and fucked him
Just
7
with like
more
a
times.
regular Bible cover, and then just putting that in places, like you're just going into hotel rooms and replacing their Bible with like your version.
The fucked him to death Bible.
Yeah. And you're like, it says that. Like I'm reading it. It says it right here. Have you ever actually opened this book? It says fucked him to death.
That's so funny, man. Oh, that's so funny. So, he grew worse and worse, finally stopped breathing. She said, give me your son. He took him to the upper room where he was staying, laid him on his bed, and came in his asshole. Then he cried out to the Lord, "Oh Lord, my God.
Oh God.
Have you brought tragedy also upon this widow I am staying with by causing her son to die?" You know what he really thought? He was like, thank God the kid's out of the way so I can start smashing this like widow.
Oh, he's been hitting it.
You know he has been.
She's not allowed to say no.
Some single mom.
Why is he wandering through, occupying this woman's time and space if he's not smashing?
Let's like actually just think about this like contemporarily. You know, we got a crazy homeless person getting fed by birds that rolls into town, and the first woman he sees with a deranged child is like, "Me and you are going to work together, God says." And she's just like an abused woman that has nothing left in her life, and she's like, "This guy says he's a man of God. I guess I should make him a sandwich."
Well, she's obviously really annoying.
With her last welfare check, and then the kid dies because he's obviously poisoned it, and then he goes in the attic and fucks it. I mean, I feel like that's the contemporary 2020.
If you read between the lines, you have to interpret the words.
Yeah, you actually
you
do.
have to interpret it.
You actually do. The Bible's literally wrong, but interpretively.
I can't bail you on this one. I don't know.
Man, I'm so close to the end of this, and I'm quite drunk now. Give me your son, upper room. Laid him on his bed, and then verse 20. Then he cried out to the Lord. Elijah cried out to the Lord. "Oh Lord, my God, have you brought tragedy also upon this widow I am staying with by causing her son to die?" Then he stretched himself out on the boy 3 times.
It does not say that. Are you fucking with me this time?
He stretched himself out on the boy 3 times.
Are you kidding?
No.
Did you know it was going to say that?
Yes, that's why I knew you would love this story.
Get the fuck out of here.
I knew your eyebrows would jump off your gigantic forehead when you
So
heard that.
in old-timey words, they actually wrote, and then he fucked him?
He laid on him.
What the fuck does that mean?
He laid on him, Kyle, in a non-sexual way.
I was just giving him my energy in the form of cum from my penis.
Dude, last week when I was reading
I
this.
can't believe that's the actual thing.
Yeah, I know. Last week when I was reading this, I was so annoyed with you that you kept interrupting because I knew you would like, how crazy is this?
Yeah, it's. I need you to keep reading because I got to know what they're They can't mean he fucked him.
No. I mean, it's just a weird. A lot of times.
Why do you have to lay on top of a.
For the same reason that guy threw the piece of wood in the lake, God requires some ritualistic bullshit to make his power
Yeah,
known.
but why do you got to get hard?
You're right. Literally, even today, like Christians that believe this are like, you have to do this rigmarole, woogie boogie, and say these words in the right order, and then God will heal you. And he might not also. It's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. So he laid on him 3 times.
There's been a few Sam Kinison bits literally in this podcast, and that's so funny because he used to be a preacher, and there's so many tie-ins. You mean life keeps fucking you even when you're dead?
Yeah. You're totally right. Oh, man, fantastic podcast if you're a comedy fan.
Have you met Chad? Podcast.
Fuck off! Fuck you! And fuck your family, man. No, I think it's Mark Maron with, who's the guy, Tough Crowd? Colin Quinn?
Colin Quinn, yeah.
Yeah, Mark Maron, Colin Quinn. And, but he's talking about Sam Kinison and they're talking about Roseanne and Sam Kinison.
Yeah, there's some wild stories.
Well, because they're before life and then they're after life. So both those people got in car accidents.
Yeah.
And had brain damage. And then Colin Quinn goes, what does that say about what we do that you need brain damage to do it?
It's so weirdly true. I
Fair.
don't want to get into a comedy
Yeah, me neither.
discussion, but go to any
We're talking
open
about fucking
mic.
children here.
Go to any open mic, and you'll see the type of person that thinks this is a good idea. And it is wild.
Us.
Yeah, us. And we're the ones succeeding.
I wouldn't call this successful, Bob.
We're not, but we're the ones succeeding. If you think this is bad, you should see the people that are failing.
That's true. That's so true. So he stretched himself out on the boy 3 times.
That's such a funny way to say it, too.
And cried out to the Lord, "Oh Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him."
Oh, Lord.
Wesley.
The Lord heard Elijah's cry, and the boy's life.
Just doing this, just doing one of these, just.
Yeah, he's pushing back. Why are you pushing back if you're dead?
No, he's
Your
coming
mom
back.
knows. Hey,
Yeah.
I want you to go upstairs. I want you to fake malnourishment and die so that we can both go upstairs. Hey, don't tell your mother this.
Did Jesus also get fucked back to life? Is that how, after 3 days?
I hope so.
Of just getting.
No, I'm doing an alternate version of the Elijah story. So Elijah's a fucking homeless person from out of town, and he says, "Make me a sandwich." And
Yeah.
she's like, "I only got enough food for me and my boy." And he's going like, "This kid's getting in my way all the time." He's like, "Look, I need you to go upstairs and play dead. Just, it's between me and your mom."
This is like this is an adult fun game between us.
Yeah.
Can't tell anybody. Yeah.
And then she's like, "He might be. Oh my God, my son's dead." He's like,
I got this.
"Let me go
Here's
fuck.
the thing.
Let me
this
go
is
fuck."
gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound fucking crazy. Like it's gonna sound like it's not gonna work.
But I speak for God. I speak for God.
Here's the thing. I've done it before.
Yeah. So
Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he laid on the boy 3 times and cried out to the Lord, "Oh Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him." The Lord heard Elijah's cry, and the boy's life returned to him via his asshole.
So we're led to believe that God wouldn't have recognized
Right?
the cries of this man if
Right?
he wasn't laying on top,
Right?
thrusting
Right?
repeatedly.
You're right. I don't know what else to say.
The fact that he says he laid on him 3 times is just implies so much more than just laying there.
You don't understand. He's going to lie on him
You
a
don't
bunch more
understand.
times. No, The whole thing, he lies on this boy over and over again.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Hey, if you want to stay alive,
Yeah, I need to lie on him 3 times a night.
I mean, you can watch if you want, but
I mean, you are his mom, and God smiles upon this.
okay, let's finish it off. Let's finish him off, dude.
Okay, sorry.
All good.
The
wanted
Lord
to
heard
finish him
Elijah's
off.
cry, and the boy's life returned to him, and he lived. Elijah picked up the child.
He was actually never dead.
Elijah picked up the child and carried him down to the room to his house. He gave him to his
The child's like, I'm alive, but I'm also dead inside.
yeah. He carried him to the. He gave him to his mother and said, "Look, your son is alive." Then the woman said to Elijah, "Now I know that you are a man of God, because you fucked my kid back to life, and that the word of the Lord from your mouth is truth." And that's the end of the story.
That rules.
I mean, there's a lot more to the story. It keeps going.
Yeah.
We're now in the life of Elijah, which I said at the beginning. It was my favorite part. Like my favorite.
Let
part
me
of the
guess.
Bible.
He fucks another 30 or 40 boys back to life.
Not quite. not really that bad, but like.
Can he also fuck a girl back to life, or is it exclusively like a Michael Jackson young boy situation?
It's exclusive.
Okay.
And that's why I really think the Catholic Church is right in their molestation, because that's what God wants. It's like a biblical thing.
Mm-hmm. If you fuck a kid to death, can you then, if
Fuck
you
'em back
continue
to
to
life.
fuck him, can you fuck him back to life? That's the true. That's the oxymoron.
Did we get any emails this week, Kyle? Did you learn anything?
That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, I actually did this time.
What'd you learn?
That in the Bible, if a young boy dies, you repeatedly lay on him
3 times.
3 times. 3 times? Is that the magic number?
I mean, like we talked about biblical numbers
Yeah.
before: 7, 3.
Mhm.
Like there's some like Jesus was dead for 3 days. There's a lot of
Nor
7.
to-
12 is a big number.
Like, I don't know. Everyone counts this differently. But in order to count it, do you have to bust? Because
Yes,
I've counted, I count
say-
a lot of them. A lot of the ones that I do, I don't bust sometimes, and I still count it.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. You don't think it counts. You got to bust.
You gotta bust inside them, dude.
What if you just get the tip in?
I mean, no,
No bust.
0.
Then Chad, so if you listen to Chad Pod, he's only had sex 3 times.
Do you know why he can't bust? Because he's got you in your head going, say some weird
He's
shit.
literally said that.
I was joking.
He was serious. He's like, I'm like, well, you need to fix that. Don't do that.
What would Kyle do in this situation?
Like, I don't. I'm uncomfortable.
Probably get chlamydia.
Oh yeah. Been there, done that.
Same. Okay, that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear a little teaser. A new thing we're doing is we're gonna tease the Patreon at the end of every podcast.
We got to get you all horned up
So
so you can.
yeah, you're gonna hear like a 2-minute teaser of the Patreon we did. The Patreon we did is I actually felt bad when we first recorded this because I didn't think this guy deserved it. But he's since been following me around Facebook, just calling me an asshole, and I have now.
He really changed his tune. He was pretending like he was an admirer of you
Yeah,
at the beginning.
So I relish the the Patreon. If you're on the Patreon,
Caleb loves anything with relish.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of the podcast.
Patreon.com/Bible Beaters.